speaks in the now. So we have to get to the place when we understand the nature of God, we understand the ways of God. Once we understand the nature of God and the ways of God, it becomes easy to get into what God has for us now. Hebrews started by saying, now faith is. Meaning if your faith is not operating in the now, everything God says to you will not make sense. So how can you call me the father of nations when I have no child? And my name is Abraham, meaning the father of heights. So everything is opposite. My name means the father of heights. You're telling me I'm going to be the father of nations and I have no child. It makes no sense. How can a virgin conceive a child? It makes no sense. But when you understand that when God sees you, he sees everything all at once, meaning everything you're supposed to be is already in you. God just has to lift up the curtain for people to see you as he sees you. But the reason why that does not happen, we are always in the wrong place and we always miss the moment. There is a Kairos moment. We are so engrossed in time, the Chronos. Oh my God, I'm 25, I can't get married. Oh my God, I'm 36, I don't have a college degree. Oh my God, I'm still living with my parents. Oh my God, I have no friends. We're so consumed about time and we miss the Kairos moment. Time is not a bad thing. I used to think that time was a bad thing until I understand the purpose of time and why God made time. See, God lives in eternity. There is no time. But God made time for man so there can be the redeeming of the time or the redemption of time. For example, what if you make a mistake and you told a lie and there was no time? Can you redeem it back again? So what if you made a mistake and you took a class, you took an exam and you failed that exam and there was no time? Can you redeem that time? What if you do something wrong and you're doing all you can to make up and there was no time? What happens? So that's why when Adam and Eve sinned in the garden, God had to chase them out. It was done out of love because immediately they were in sin and they ate of the fruit, that means they will be lost forever. So time is a blessing. There's nothing lost in time that cannot be regained. But the enemy makes you think that once time is past, it is lost. No, no. God can restore all things. See, in time, we lose three things in time. Either we can lose relationship, or we can either lose connections, or we can lose opportunities. But when God steps in, he can restore all those things back. So time is a blessing. So tell your neighbor that everything I lost can be restored. Tell somebody, everything I lost can be restored. Everything I lost can be restored. So now is the time God has set for us. This is God's Kairos moment, where what was will become what is in your life. What God has spoken will be revealed in your life. So that's why he brought us here today. It seems like an isolated place, but it's a place for you to contend for your destiny. It's a place where you can be by yourself and cry out to God for a release. So what can happen in a place like this or in a time like this, like in a Kairos moment? So you can get into the place where God unveils you when you have three things. When you have one, discernment. Discernment is very, very important. Sometimes we say to ourselves, I feel I should be here. That's your discernment kicking in. We're going to say, I don't think I should be here. So God called out the children of Israel, all of them, in 1 Chronicles chapter 12, verse 32. And everyone came out lackadaisical. They came out in few numbers. But the sons of Issachar, they all came out at once. And the Bible says, because of the sons of Issachar had understanding of the time, God made them leaders in that move he was doing. Because sometimes you come into a place and say, I know I should be here, and you don't get distracted, and you miss what God is doing in that place. So once your discernment kicks in and say, I know I should be in this place, Or I know I should be doing this job. Or I know I should be in this school. Or I know I should be married. I know that all you need to do is to take the appropriate action. I keep telling people all the time, prayer is not telling God your problems. He knows all of them. And sometimes that will move him. Prayer is making God act on your problem based on his words. God said, I've exalted my word above your name. The only thing that can move God is when you hold him to his word. That's why David knew how to move God. See, David committed the most abominable sin when he slept with Bathsheba. And God released a judgment on him. God said, 3 years of famine, 3 months of your enemies chasing you, or 3 days of my plague on you. David, knowing the ways of God, said, it is better I fall into what? Into the hands of God, into the hands of men. And when God released the judgment, even on day one, God himself came and stopped it. So when you understand the ways of God, you can always use the words of God to bring anything you need to pass in your life. But most times we're always crying and lamenting. That's all good. But you need to hold God by his word. So when you're in a place and you discern that God is doing something, and you say, God, I know you are in this place. And your word says you are a God at hand, not a God at far. So because I'm where you are, do what you want to do in this moment. And at that time, what God has assigned for you comes to you. Another way we can get into our Kairos moment is by service. Do not neglect any opportunity to provide service. And also, not only in the house of God, also outside the house of God. Imagine if Rebecca had walked past the servant of Abraham on the day he came to the world. Would she have become the mother of Jacob and Esau? No. But she came and she saw the man by the well, said, oh, okay, I will get water for you and for your camels. And she didn't know by doing that she was an answer to prayer. So you don't know who has been praying and say, God, I know you've sent me to bless somebody today. So whoever tells me good morning, or open the door for me, or say hi to me, I will give them the blessing. So sometimes and that day you wake up in the morning on the wrong side of the bed, you are mad, your neighbor double-packed and blocked you, your mother was mad at you, your brother wore your shirts to school. So all things happened that morning, and you step out, and that was the day God has assigned your Kairos moment, and you miss it. You always have to live with a heart of service. Once you have a heart of service, you get into moments with God that can shift your life forever. Whenever I look into the Bible, I see people who get into things just because of service. I was listening to a testimony of a lady on one of the reels on TV, and she said she used to be an air hostess. And they were on this long flight, and the flight was taking so long, and everybody who was an air hostess were all tired of that flight. And someone requested for a cup of tea. Can I get coffee? I'm sorry, coffee please. And they were all tired. So they all had the request, but nobody got up. Because they were all tired. And she said, oh my God, she said she got up, being tired. She walked up to the man, gave him the coffee. And the man said, thank you for doing this. He said, whenever you are in the Tennessee area, come to me. I own a dealership and I will help you. Guess what happened? That same lady lives in Tennessee. She got back to Tennessee, she went to the dealership, and she drove out with a brand new car. Service. She didn't pray, she didn't fast, she didn't cry, but she what? She provided what? Service. So sometimes we lose our blessings. We lose Kairos because we don't provide service. And sometimes the enemy says, let me give you a cue. The day you feel depressed the most, frustrated the most, the day you feel as if you don't have a praise in you the most, that is the day you have to make up your mind to provide service when you go out. But the enemy sees what's in store for you that then tries to rob you of the blessing from the very first day. And another thing that can lead you into a Kairos moment is your posture. You get more from God when your heart is postured in humility than in fasting and prayer. Because the Bible says a broken and a contrite heart, God will not despise. Once your heart is postured towards God, you cause God to respond to you. Like a broken heart is a heart that says, God, if you don't, I'm done. God, if you don't help me, no one's going to help me. That's what the woman with the child that came to Jesus, when Jesus said, it is not lawful to give the children's meat to dogs. And she just said, Lord, even the crumbs that fall. That's posture. Like she humbled herself. Like, I don't care what you want to call me now. All I need is something in the bread. Sometimes all you need is just to be at that place. All you just get up and just say hallelujah. All you need to get up and just say, but sometimes we get so encumbered by our problems and we miss all these moments. So posture. My question is, how is your heart postured to God this morning? Or are you here because I just had to be here? Or because someone invited me? Or because I had to drive along? Or are you here because I know I have to be here, and I know God has something for me here, and I'm not going to leave here until God does what He wants to do for me here? If that is your posture, then there's going to be restoration for you. There's going to be redeeming of the time for you, and you're going to walk in your Kairos moment. And God is going to unveil. So that's what Jesus told John the Baptist in our text. He said, allow it to be so. So Jesus did the whole of the three things that said in one. He had discernment. He said, this is River Jordan, and this is John the Baptist. So I'm discerning, I'm at the right place. Jesus was humble. John said, you should baptize me. But he just said, I'm following a script that will make you fulfill all righteousness. Righteousness means right standing with God. Right standing with God simply means you're in a place of total surrender to God. Like I said in the beginning, for you to get all of God, you must give all of you. Sometimes we want to get all of God and give some of us. Just like I said, we may do this to fulfill what? This is some righteousness, a few righteousness, only the righteousness in the Old Testament say all righteousness. So have you done all? So let me say something I've come to realize about God. God may know my all based on a scale of 1 to 100%, maybe 80%. And God may know that Evangelist Sandra's all on a scale of 1 to 100 is 95%. So she may be giving 90% and see me giving 80% and say, God, why are you blessing him? He's giving 80, but I'm giving 90. God said, but that's not your all. Come on. He's giving his all, but you're giving some of your all. So that's why sometimes we don't move. That's why sometimes we stay stuck. Sometimes things don't happen because we're not giving our all. So for you to be unveiled, you have to give your all. So have you really given God your all? Amen. When a new movie comes out, so to those of us who love movies, we start preparing the day before. We pick out our outfits, make sure it aligns with the theme of the movie. Yes. Sometimes we go shopping to make sure we have the right gear for the movie. We go get the right popcorn, we get the right drink, we add a little bit extra butter on the popcorn. We give our all to see a movie. Yes, Lord. But when we come to church, or to any conference, we're just strolling. I'm just going to play the keyboard, I'm just going to sing. Or when I minister, we give them 1 or 2 songs that I feel led to. Or when I preach, I'm just going to read from one verse of the Bible and let the Holy Spirit take it. No, it's not giving the all. So just like I said, that all righteousness will be fulfilled. And did it surprise you that immediately Jesus baptized John the Baptist? Guess what happened? All men came to him. So the reason why all people are not coming to your gift because you're not giving your all. Come on. The reason why the veil is not unveiled for all to see, because you resound in your all. See, and I'm speaking